Hi guys, I'm Tom Antos, and in this video I want to talk about creating an online presence for your name, your brand, your company, whatever it is that you're trying to promote online, so that you can find customers that are actually willing to pay for your products or your services. I'm going to show you how I do this in 3 steps. Now, I'm a filmmaker, so I'll show you obviously my website that's related to filmmaking. But even if you work in a completely different industry, you can still apply all the same techniques. So obviously you're going to need a website. I created my website using Wix, and they're also the sponsor of this video. So if you don't yet have a website, then get started with Wix by clicking the link in the description, and you can make a website using their great online tools they offer. And then also you really do need a lot, and I mean a lot of money. And then, you just spend all that money on the online advertising, and then watch all the customers running to your website. Obviously, this is something I would be telling you if you had a lot of money and you had nothing else to offer. Now, advertising on a website obviously can be helpful, but even if you don't have any money, I'll tell you that sometimes I actually find from watching other people's basically websites and promotions that advertising yourself or over-advertising yourself can actually hurt your brand or your name. Because I think that at the end of the day, you really want to get organic views or organic visitors to your website. Those are usually going to be visitors that are going to be more committed, they're already engaged, they took the time to find you or basically somehow stumble upon your website. And they're there not because you kind of coerced them with the advertising, but because they really find it interesting. I've seen actually quite a few people that are paying for YouTube views or basically online visitors. They're paying, and they might be getting millions of views on their videos. First of all, the second they stopped paying, those views drop. But also at the end of the day, they're not real views from real engaged visitors, meaning that none of those really millions of views are gonna convert into actual paying customers that are, again, willing to spend money for a service or product that you're selling. Not to mention that some YouTubers I've seen have their YouTube channels sometimes basically restricted or completely removed, because if YouTube or certain other websites find out that you're basically paying for clicks, for fake views, that is actually goes against their policies. Now, I'm actually very proud to admit that I have 100% organic and healthy online views or engagement. So I've never once paid for anybody to visit one of my YouTube videos or my website. Of course, thanks to having a 100% organic website, I've been able to sell quite a few products over the years through my online store. So I sell LUTs, I sell filmmaking tutorials, and on top of that, I've actually gotten hired for a lot of film projects because people first came across my website, saw my work there. I guess they thought I did good quality work, and they gave me a call. So definitely make sure you guys have a website for yourself or your brand, and then create that online presence so you can get visitors coming to your website. Now, here's the 3 different ways that I promote my website. Step number 1, provide something of value. So instead of having, let's say, like a portfolio website where you're just going to show, let's say, your demo reel or whatever, your photos or let's say previous clients that you worked with, and then let's say just your contact info, create something that gives people a reason to come back to your website. So you want to have new things, and you want to have things that are basically useful, that provide some kind of value to your visitors. And this is before those visitors are actually converted to paying customers, right? So the way that I do it on my website, I have a blog, and I post articles, stories that are related to my industry, which is filmmaking. But then I also provide certain things that people can get for free. So certain freebies or downloadables that they can go to the download section of my website, and they can find it, and they can download it, they can use it. These are graphics, LUT presets, things like that. And another thing that I do is I also create filmmaking tutorials. So tutorials about how to achieve a certain effect or techniques or things like that. And in a way, you might think, why am I giving away my trade secrets? Well, at the end of the day, I just want to bring people to the website, and I know the people that are really willing to take the time and learn those things and do it themselves, they're probably not going to hire me anyways, because they know how to do it themselves, or they'll figure out another way to do it. But then I also noticed that a lot of people will watch the tutorials that I do, and they'll really be sort of intrigued by the effect that I was able to get, by the final product. And then maybe sometimes they try it on their own and they go, I can't get the same effect or the same result. Now, some people, I'm sure, will just watch the tutorials and they don't even attempt to do them. They just simply watch it, and they can see through the tutorial that I know what I'm talking about. and they need me, for example, to do a similar job for them, and they'll actually contact me through my website. If you're just starting out and have no idea about coding or website design, then definitely give Wix a try. I use them for my production company's latest website, and their online editor helped me make a website basically that works. They even have tools that will let you customize how your website is going to look on a mobile device and on desktop browsers. So step number 2 of creating an online presence is to make sure that you guys actually go outside of your website and use the whole internet and get visitors from other websites that already have a lot of visitors. So I, for example, do tutorials and again provide something of value on websites like YouTube. You can do the same thing on certain other websites. For example, you can go to, there's lots of different forums that you can just type in into any search engine, look for the industry that you're in, and then type in forum, find that forum, create an account, sign up there, and be active actually in the forum. Don't just spam your link to your website. But the way that you can promote and get people to actually click your website is by, let's say if somebody has a question on a forum, you answer that question, and then, especially if it makes sense, to provide an in-depth kind of explanation of that answer, and you have that, let's say, article or blog post on your website, then provide a link to your website or specifically to that post on your website. The same thing you can, for example, use Quora. So again, create an account there. People have lots of questions, of all kinds of questions, and just go there, be helpful, provide answers. Hopefully, once you provide enough good answers, people will start regularly checking your answers. And then they'll check out automatically your profile, and hopefully there you put the link to your website. But again, in some of the answers, you might just provide directly a link for further in-depth explanation of that topic on your website. Now, step number 3 is to make sure that you're using all of social media. Now, how do you actually do that? And how can you manage it when you're trying to run a website, your business, obviously, and then you don't have time to run all these social media accounts? Well, the way that I do it is I basically reuse material, you could say. So it doesn't really take that much time or work to do that last step for me. Because basically once I do a blog post on my website about a certain topic, or maybe a new piece of gear, camera gear that came out and that I reviewed or tested, once I have that content created, then I basically just take, let's say on LinkedIn or on Twitter or on Facebook, I'll just post a bit of that article or that blog post from my website, and then I'll just put, if you want to read the rest of it, click here, and that takes them to my website. And this way it kind of provides people sort of a short, sort of a tidbit or a little bit of information or news on those social media websites. But then again, if they want something more in-depth and they're already interested in what you have to say, then they're going to go to your website, and then hopefully from there they're going to be really enjoying and seeing all the other content that you have on your website. And if you have an online store, they'll hopefully buy something from that store and things like that. So definitely make sure you're using social media in that sense. What you don't want to do is just keep on posting your website, just the link directly to the main page of your website over and over, I don't know, weekly or monthly, because eventually people just notice that you're just spamming them and just promoting your website. Like I said, even on social media, you want to provide something of value, but provide something new each time you're posting. And obviously when the bulk of that content at the end of the day resides on your website, then you can just direct people to read the full article or the post again on your website. Now, of course, you want to make sure that your website is easy to navigate. So, make it look flashy or beautiful, but also make it clean. Don't start putting like unnecessary graphics or things or text popping up that really isn't really serving your website. So provide your content. Again, in my case, I have sort of a blog post right in the middle, and then I have sort of some links quickly to some of the tutorials that I offer. And then also make sure that on your website, obviously, you have a way for people to contact you. Now that's where Wix is really helpful, because they have a ton of really, really nice looking templates for different websites. So pretty much any industry or topic of website you might want to create, they'll already have a really good template on there. You can basically take that template, you can customize it to kind of obviously fit your needs, change the text, the names, all that information on there. So it is still at the end of the day your unique website. I like using the Wix Editor to customize any of their templates, like I've done up here with this website, because they not only let you obviously change text and move things around and all that stuff, but they also let you do, for example, things like putting in apps, and they have a ton of really, really cool apps for all kinds of things. Like maybe let's say you want like a pop-up form to pop up, so you can kind of convert more of your visitors into actual customers or leads. Or maybe you want some kind of media, for example, apps, that show play videos or show photos, things like that. They're pretty much just drag and drop kind of into your website. And also another really cool thing is that you can see even how these different apps are rated. So you can see what people are saying, how many ratings there are. You can kind of, before you add it to your website, you can kind of look through here for the description, how it all works, but you can also see what people are saying about this app. And now another thing I like about the Wix Editor is that their whole editor is very visual, so you really do not need to know anything about coding. Like you can see up here, I'm looking at this page, and again, I can change the text that I want up here. I can move buttons and graphics and things like that around very easily. For example, if I want to add, like let's say pages, or add or remove pages, again, you have a simple menu up here. I can see up here all of my pages. I can click on any of the pages, see how it looks. In my case up here, I actually added links to YouTube videos and things like that. It's very straightforward, and it really allows anybody to design a good looking website. Now for the contact info, definitely make sure, or at least that's what I think, you should never provide your direct phone number or email right there on the website, because it's just gonna go out there on the internet and you're gonna get spammed like crazy. I did that mistake with my first website. Wix also offers contact forms that you can pretty much drag and drop to your website, and this way people can fill out the contact form. They can send you a message that ends up in your email, and then you can this way filter out all the spam and only reply to the emails that you want. But in the process, nobody, including none of those spammers, actually end up getting your contact information. I actually did a video where I show you guys how I create a whole website using the online tools the Wix offers. So if you guys are interested, definitely check that video out. Another thing that Wix is really good at is fine-tuning your website search engine optimization, or SEO for short. And this is a really important step if you want to make sure that your websites rank higher on the different search engines. And again, if you don't know anything about SEO, then Wix provides you these tools that are kind of almost step-by-step. As you can see, they'll tell you, for example, how to get your homepage so it's ready for Google search, so it basically ranks higher. I've already done it for this website, but kind of, again, if you're starting out, you can kind of follow their steps. It tells you up here, for example, optimizing your site pages for search engines. So this gives you tips, for example, like add contact details, social networks you're using, add links to your homepage, which is, and especially backlinks is very important. Things like that. So like, again, I've done all of these, and you kind of get a little green check mark once you've completed all of these. And not only that, but like, for example, aside from SEO, just actually for marketing a website, they provide a lot of really cool tips. As you can see up here right now, for New Year's, they have like a New Year's campaign that they're offering, like basically help with telling you can create an email campaign, or finding new visitors with Google Ads and things like that. They even give you a little calendar so you can kind of schedule your marketing activities. And the same thing for example, if you want to use email marketing or Facebook, Instagram, all of these tools you have built right into Wix. I guess the last tip I can offer you guys is to make sure that when you're creating a website, you can make it fun or creative, informational if you can, but definitely provide something of value, and make sure you're updating. You're always providing something new, so that there's a reason for people to come back to your website, and in the process they're gonna remember your name, or your company, or your brand name. Of course, to do all this, you don't need to necessarily spend money, but you do need to spend the time and put in work to create that original content. So get busy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you let me know in the comment section below, but also as always, check out my website at tomantosfilms.com, where you'll find other filmmaking tutorials, film gear reviews, freebies and giveaways and downloads. So as always, make sure you guys go there, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my email newsletter. Also, don't forget to check out Wix by following the link in the description. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!